And we're going to start doing some block snatches. Yeah. All right. So we're at 40. Let's now go up to 50. Let's put this on. For years, brother. For years. About 16 years, I guess. Here. So the goal with block snatches today is to do smaller jumps, still do doubles, and it looks like that just because of the camera. So everything's backwards because it's a front-facing camera. Do this for a double, and then just jump up to 70. everything feels good, which is nice. Means yesterday got productive work in, didn't do too much. Quote of the day, lift weights. But, yep, lift weights. It's not as hot out today, but it's very humid. Finally rained. So it's double 70. So now we go to 80. Now we do the big 80. Agua is good. So now 90. Thank you, Aaron. I appreciate it. Just try not to sweat to death. Now we do 90. Still doing doubles. Yeah. Sleeves feel a little tight. Just leave the wraps on. All right. Hey, appreciate it, Fred. Everyone's like the worst things to say in these things. Hundreds next. I'm actually going to take the knee wraps off and just pull the sleeves up. Wraps are just kind of, they perpetually kind of slip down and they bunch up. So I'll have to redo them regardless of how training's going or just regardless of whatever I'm doing. Sleeves just stay on better. Well, my legs don't feel too bad, which is nice. I thought I was going to have to use sleeves or wraps under sleeves, but I don't feel too bad, which is good. So 100's where it starts to get a little serious. A little serious. So we'll see how the 100 goes. It's more difficult. Last time I took really big jumps. I still did doubles, but I took really big jumps. Now I took 10 kilo jumps up to this, and once I do the double here, ideally I go to 105 and then 110. Before I went from 70 to 100 to 110 to 120, so I did a lot less volume. So I don't know if I'll be able to get to that 120 again because of how much reps I'm doing prior to that, but the volume itself will be good. I don't necessarily just need to work to a maximum weight. All right. a makey miss. I mean, missy make. Not the best. Not the best in the first one. I just thought about it too much. That was really all I did wrong. Went a little early, so not ideal. So I have to focus in a little bit more. Focus on just the extension. Didn't even feel too bad. I was just not locked in. Not locked in. We'll still count that as a double though. So 105 now. That was better. Almost lost the second one behind. Whew. It's definitely tough though. No. I don't have muscles to flex. All right. 110 now. far forward. Unfortunate. It's close though. That went pretty good with, or that would have been good with all the reps I did prior to that. So we're still gonna go up to 115 and do a single there, maybe a single at 120. All right. Whew. Oh. Oh, it's too slow. Whew. It's alright though. It's a lot of reps to get up to that. Too slow. But it gives me a better goal for the next week when I do this same type of session. Instead of just taking big jumps to get up to a heavy block snatch, to do those doubles again, to accumulate those volume, because I did a lot of reps building up to those. So it makes sense that I wouldn't be able to get up to the same number I did last week. But hey, Tony. Stinks that you tweaked your back. Yeah, I'm just weak. Thankfully, I haven't tweaked anything. Just slow. But the doubles, 10 kilo jumps to 100, then went 100, 105, 110. Did a kind of missy make with 100, a double with 105, and then a make and then a miss with 110. Then the 115 I missed there, which kind of stinks, but it makes sense based on the not necessarily the goal of the day was the miss, but to do doubles until it was difficult. And the theory, or the pie in the sky goal was maybe to double 120 again, but I kind of figured with doing all the reps prior to it, I'd be too fatigued, and that's kind of what played out, which kind of makes sense. But whew, slam bars 94K. Hola. But now to do some power clean plus push press. Last one, my I don't want to say my shoulder gave out, but the lockout on the left side was because I was moving slow. It collapsed. So nothing felt wonky with it, just normal weakness. So throw the wrist straps on. Whew, get some push pressers. But I don't know, it's kind of a weird and good session. Like I did a lot more reps than I did last week from the blocks, but you of course want to always be able to try to push up to heavier than what you did before. But kind of new going from 70 kilos to 100 to 110 to 120. Adding a whole bunch of jumps in between was going to fatigue me for the top sets, which kind of makes sense. Hello, Reed. Just finished doing block snatches, which didn't go as well as last week, but I did a lot more sets building up to it. So last week I went 40, 70, 100, 110, 120, and it's really big jumps. But this week I went 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 105, and then 110, 115, but missed the 115, made miss with 110, made 105, missy make with 105 or 100, but doing doubles all the way up to definitely feeling a lot more. Particularly my low back has a pump, which is not necessarily the goal, but it is something that happened. So we're gonna do some push presses now, some power clean push presses. I don't know really what I'm gonna be able to get up to. I know I'm not gonna get up to 120. We'll just kind of have to see how I'm feeling, how I'm moving, how I'm grooving. And an ear. Okay, I have to look at that. So we had a friend. It was good, Reed. It's always too short, but I was real happy that the waves and stuff I did Saturday was an extremely productive session. And then Sunday went well as far as training went. But I don't do anything outside of that. My old roommates came by to get some of their old stuff, and so my house is more clean than it was now. So that part's nice. But that and grad school stuff, I really don't live an exciting life, but it's nice because I feel happy now. Not that I wasn't before, but it's nice to have to have the house to myself. And so far, I don't feel any like loneliness inkling. Like that's what the thing people worry about. It's like I'm gonna get lonely and then I'm gonna have to go and socialize. But I've never I've never had that urge. I don't think it's gonna. In my 31 years of life, I'm never like I need to go out to socialize. I've never had that urge. So I don't think it's really gonna come anytime soon, unless I get hit in the head by a bar. Maybe if I drop a barbell on my head, I'll start changing my behaviors. But only time I've ever felt like weird after being isolated for a while was probably my last year of college and first year of teaching during the summer because I lived by myself during that summer, and there was really like nobody at the college during that. Well, the last 2 years of college in the summer, there was like nobody around the college, and then after I graduated that summer, there wasn't a lot of people at the gym I went to. It's a lot more popular now, the place up in Canton, Ohio. But like those few times, and then the first year of teaching where I lived by myself and hadn't really met people at the gym, you start to feel weird then. But like once I'm in the school year, like I'm around kids and adults and people all day long, and I am socializing constantly all day long. You could say it doesn't count with children or whatever, but like constantly having to talk with people in any sort of facet certainly fills my social battery in a lot of ways. So I don't really ever sit on like a Friday like, all right, I want to go out. I've literally never had that urge a single time in my life. And I don't think it's gonna change. I don't think I'm ever gonna get back at work on Friday or like Saturday and be like, all right, time to go like I don't know to a bar or something. I don't know if I've ever actually gone to a bar to like do adult things. I don't think I've ever done that a single time. Some may say like that's sad, but like I could ask I could go out. Like it's not like I don't know anyone that I could go do that with, but it doesn't sound very fun. Push presses also don't sound very fun. So similar to the snatches, I want to get more volume in today, not with the power cleans, but with the push presses. So I'm doing 1+3s, and so I don't really know what I'm going to get up to. Why did I put? Oh, 70. I'll say usually I only start at 70 because I don't want to take all the plates off. But slam bar, I use it occasionally in the winter. It's mostly weather dependent, and that's mostly like at temperature. If it's above 50, I can train normally. If it's between 40 and 50 degrees, then I have to like really bundle up, but it's still possible. And if it's below 40, it honestly just becomes like painful as far as like my hands and stuff. So I still could if I had to like just squat and pull, but as far as like full-fledged training below 40 degrees is usually if I like had to, absolutely had to, you just do. But thankfully I have a gym that I can go to, but for most of the year I can actually utilize it. But yeah. And it stinks that that's like part of, socializing for a lot of people, but I've never really valued that or really wanted to do that because what I find with those substances is I do relax and I do loosen up, but I come very strident in the fact that I don't want to do anything. So if I was starting to feel that special way, I get very tired, I get very relaxed, and I don't want to do anything. If I go beyond that point, it becomes medically unsafe, and that's only happened like twice in my life. One time I danced, and that was not a fun night after the dancing happened. So if you ever see me out in public dancing, you need to call an ambulance because it's not going to end well for me. But um, yeah, like the idea of like going out to do that, like isn't I'm not necessarily opposed to it, but it's like, oh, I have to find someone to designate drive. I have to find, you have to pay for your stuff, and it's like it's a whole to do when I can just do nothing. And yeah, and at this point in my life, like it's not like I avoid it entirely, but to like get to the point where I'm like, actually uh, affected in an extreme way, it's not worth it. And like you said, it's really dangerous. But I have nothing. My brother came back from Tennessee. He's left his car at my house for a couple days, so he brought me a bottle of Tennessee spirits, and I was enjoying that. But like I'm weird enough where I'll drink it every day, but it's literally like a tiny little glass of it with whatever it is. But now that that's gone, I probably won't have anything for several months. I usually don't get the urge. I'm also kind of, in a sense, a little nervous about it, and like having just occasional drinks or whatever, just on a consistent basis, more so than like every couple months, because of the fact that my grandpa's an alcoholic, and my dad never was or anything, but like there's that genetic component, and I could definitely, because of how much how good I am at forming habits, it's certainly not a habit that I would like to form. So I try to stick to the positive ones. Plus, from like a recovery standpoint, as far as lifting goes, like it's not good for recovery. So, if you go really crazy with that kind of stuff, you're just not going to be able to do anything really the next day, whether it's lifting or just life. And to me, that's just not really worth it for the most part. And if you really limit what you do for the most part, then you don't really get those side effects, and you kind of still get that relaxation a little bit. But yeah, now that my brother's gift is finished, I probably won't have any spirits for quite a while. But sometimes you can't go wrong with a nice Corona. Yeah, tolerance. And yeah, I think that's honestly like the male strat nowadays is like why waste all your money and time and health to go out and do all that stuff when you can just stay home and play video games and be plenty entertained. And I really don't play as much video games now. The one I bought like a baseball simulation game and it just broke. Like it just it was on Steam and it just broke. It's like it updated, just stopped working. So after that, I haven't really done much. I play chess, and that's really play chess, watch YouTube videos, and lift weights and stuff. It's kind of how I keep myself entertained. But um, yeah, I I never really understood that even when I was in college, and it was, I guess, more of a temptation. But when you don't want to do that stuff, you're not like I've never been peer pressured to like go and do that stuff. So it's been a luxury in a sense. The two times when I was at like a conference, actually an educational conference, where I guess I was peer pressured into that at those times, but really outside of those two events, and that was my sophomore and senior year of college. Outside of those two events, like I've never really felt any peer pressure, whether it was adult beverages or any sort of substances. And I have friends that would certainly partake or would would be fine with if I asked them to share or give me some. I appreciate it, Reed. I hope your clinical goes well. Oh, I guess I should stop procrastinating the push presses. But what's nice with doing 1+3s is that there's not like a pressure to get up to like a heavy weight. I'm not gonna max out and be worried like, oh no, I missed the third rep or whatever. It's just small jumps like I did for the block snatches. So do 70, 80, 90, 100. Actually, same jumps that I was gonna do for block snatches. So kind of works out similar with that. But try to do triples. If anything feels weird, then we'll cut those off. But yeah, I need to stop procrastinating myself. So push presser time. Back feels a little crampy. Probably from all the block snatches I did. But we'll still go up to 80. Really want to take a bigger jump and just go to 90, but we'll stick with the plan with baby jumps. Anabolic burps. Definitely getting more gas from this session than I was hoping, but doing a lot more reps, so it makes sense. Makes sense in a sense. Makes sense in a sense. Don't really want to do more triples. If only there was a way to get stronger without having to do more work. If only someone had figured that out for lifting weights. What could I do to get stronger with less effort? I don't know. Nobody's ever figured that out. Oh, those are not fun. Not fun. Which means I need to do more of them. Oh, that's not fun at all, brother. Brother. What? Slam bar? I don't think that works. I don't think those I mean snorting some chalk might work. But to be honest though, how much chalk I use, if that actually worked, ingesting the chalk, I'd probably be a lot stronger now. But I don't know. The other thing you said, I don't think that works. I don't know. I think I'm gonna keep doing 10 kilo jumps because it doesn't sound fun to go up to 105 after this. So we're gonna cross that out. Maybe do 115. Probably I'll say just do 110 for triple. But my favorite thing when people talk about those substances and whether they help or they don't or like the amount that they help, it's like, well, you still have to put in the work. It's like, no, you get to put in more work. You get to you get to feel better all the time for all your training sessions, and they all work better. So then you feel better. You feel better about your training. So it just like feeds into each other. It's to me, it's the funniest thing. It's like you still have to put in the work. It's like that work's more fun, and it works, and you feel better. Obviously, there's lots of health side effects, but as far as like, oh well, you still have to put in more work. You still have to do all the lifting. It's like that's true. Nobody said lifting was easy, but if I felt good every day, I would just lift harder every day. It's just how I'm built. Like if I felt really good on doing snatch doubles, like I would have just kept going up. Like it's I would feel good tomorrow. Like I'm just gonna lift harder. It's a self fulfilling prophecy. It's like yeah, I have to lift harder, I have to train harder, but also like I'd want to train harder. I want to do more work because you're gonna feel better. But that's the hard part of not utilizing those substances is you still have to do the same work or you have to work as hard if not harder and you don't get to have all of the the recovery benefits. So you have to take better care of your just general health and general recovery, so you don't just don't fall behind as far as recovery goes. It's an uphill battle, that's for sure. Oh, we're gonna do this triple here. The problem with being larger like me is this is a double XL shirt, and so they get progressively longer even though my upper body fits fine. So I have to like keep pulling it up over my glutes so it doesn't feel like it's like catching on anything. But it's just rather obnoxious. I don't know if you guys can hear that when it vibrates while I'm lifting, but I'm probably going to get a bunch of text here because I'm getting a Walmart delivery probably pretty soon. Alright. Oh, I think instead of going up to 110, I'm going to do an AMRAP here. So the original plan was to do a set of 3. So 1 power clean, 3 push presses. I'm just going to see how many push presses I can do before I feel sad or fail. Whichever comes first. RPE depression. Oh, we gotta do the power clean first, which is the worst part. So we'll hold for 5. Well, I hit 5. The last one was really hard. Oh. That's my compromised. Oh, so 1 plus 5. Which, the goal today is to do repetitions, which is not fun nor exciting. Oh, Roger, I am in fact working out. Oh, I'm getting destroyed. I think that's my Walmart. Yep. I forget what I even ordered. Oh. Well, chalk won't help you with tearing your pants. Chalk helps with grip. But my pants get chalked from just my hands. So it's nothing to do with the achy fingers. But the chalk on my pants doesn't, if anything, it might make it slightly, I don't think it changes anything really. I've never noticed a difference with chalk on my quads or not, but it's literally just because I will touch my legs and stuff. It's nothing to do with intention. In theory, you'd want to have baby powder, but I don't think that'd be good for a training session. To get baby powder on a bar, I'd rather have extra chalk on the bar than baby powder for doing multiple reps and stuff. But yeah, chalk with a bar actually probably help your grip a little bit, but not your pants. Getting some nice hook grip Polish weightlifting pants will help because it has the extra pad on the front on the quads. So these are really nice, just for training and everything. But Yeah, it's man, I really don't want to do front squats. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, and I put doubles on there. I don't think I'm doing doubles. I'm gonna do singles. Oh, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I have naturally like sweaty hands, so for me, lifting without chalk is just not really a thing. Like, it's just not like I. If I just didn't have chalk, like I wouldn't really, even with straps, like I would struggle with grip, and it's not even like my grip itself would be the problem. Is that my hands would just be slipping off the bar, just because of just the moisture, and so that's why I throw on so much chalk. Is that in between sets, well, now it's kind of the exception. My hands are still pretty chalky, but for the most part, like my hands don't stay chalky. They just bleed. I sweat off the chalk really fast. I guess you can kind of see the back of my hand. There's no chalk on it, and I had a little bit of remnants from the snatch, but I tried to put it everywhere, even on like the back of my wrist when I have straps on, because it just gets. I think you see on the here. I try to put extra chalk there because it gets just so sweaty. Which is the hardest part about training when it's hot is not the temperature, but just managing the moisture. That is most difficult. I actually have a bit of a torn callus right there because I've been doing more like on the Saturday when I was doing all the waves. I did them without straps, so uh, on my palm started to get. I actually got a little blister on it, which thankfully is not the end of the world because I can, if I know that day is going to be the day where I don't use straps or anything, then I can focus on the other days on just using straps if I, so if I need it, which for the most part I do. Otherwise, I would just tear up the skin on my hands, much like you said. But I notice it's a lot more of the bar than with the amount of chalk that I have. But I I live in the chalk. I am the chalk. I'm a chalk monster, but I will supply. I need chalk so bad that like if a gym I go to wouldn't have it, I would just bring my own. Like I would just supply. I would supply it myself. Like it's unless I'm just doing bodybuilding stuff. Even then, like I would still probably bring chalk. Like it's just oh, pinky one. That's a rough one. I always get in between, like right there on my palm is where I will always get a callus. And actually, after in my last meet, my thumb actually got a big blister on the top part of my thumb. It was actually right there. It was kind of weird, but um, usually don't get too much. Oh, that's true. Yeah, and if it's a aggressive knurling bar, then it will just rip up your hands. But yeah, doing clean plus hang clean. Were you re-catching the clean? Like, do you do clean and then catch it and then do a hang clean? Because I have refused to do that. I call that CrossFit, and I refuse to do anything that feels like CrossFit. And I've tried to like recatch cleans like that, and I've never been able. I've never been able to figure it out. And it's also like I don't want to figure it out. It's one of those things that like I was bad at it. Um, yeah, I don't ever recatch. I have never recaught a clean with more than 60 kilos. I refuse. One, I've done it with 60 kilos, and I'm like that felt hard. I'm never doing that again. But the other is like, why would I want to make this life more difficult than it already is? I can just drop the bar and pick it up. I can just pick it up. I deadlift enough, so if I do an extra pull or whatever, I'm not gonna be too wore out. Especially with like a clean, it's such a clean plus a hang clean. The weight's gonna be very submaximal to my deadlift. So, but yeah, it's that's something I've refused to do. I see CrossFit people do all the time with like snatching and stuff, and I'm like, just drop it and pick it up. Like it's it's only whatever weight. But bangs quads up a bit too much, but I guess I don't mind. Oh, and yeah, and the recatch. Yeah, mine's just like I don't understand how people catch it and then immediately have the hook grip on it. To me, that doesn't make any sense. And I don't want it to make sense. It's like people who do overhead squats and they get it into a snatch grip behind their head and they do a snatch push press or a snatch grip jerk, I guess, but they do a split. And I'm like, just push press it. Like I guess I've never had such a strong overhead squat where it's like I have to do a split of some sort and then like bring my feet back together do an overhead squat. Like I just push press it up or and just do it. I guess it's more of a me problem. I should get a stronger overhead squat, but Like I see that, I'm like, that doesn't make any sense why you would do that. You just push press it up or do a snatch balance. But yeah, I've seen people do that too, and I see that happen in CrossFit, but sometimes weightlifters will do that too. But yeah, re-catching anything without straps is I refuse. I absolutely refuse to do. I almost refuse to do it with straps. I will with straps, but not with cleans. Clean reps, I actually don't really value clean reps, like a clean plus a hang clean too much. I don't really find that it helps particularly, and I find that when I'm procrastinating now, the front squats tend to be a better driver. That and back, just squatting in general. If my squats are going up, my cleans always feel good. But I can understand from like a technique standpoint, like doing the power cleans from the blocks is definitely difficult for me, just because you can't really get any speed on the bar, so it makes it a challenge to do. But it's good to kind of practice it, and it kind of limits how much I'm gonna do in like a push press or something, because I'm limited how much I can do from a power clean from the high blocks. But yeah, recatching cleans, that's horrendous. I know about two. I know some English and some Spanish. Yeah, behind the neck jerk, like the actual movement. So I'm gonna take the weight off, and I'm gonna show you what I mean, what people do that I don't understand why they do it. So behind the neck jerks, I'm a big fan of. I like them. Um, I usually just do them from the front, just because I just need more practice with it. But I've definitely pushed them in the past, and they are fun to do. Well, like snatch push press, that's always a good one. I guess it might be hard to see when I do it, but uh, since it sounds like you weightlift, you'll kind of know what I mean. So people will take it out of the rack in a snatch grip, and then do a split, step it up, and then do an overhead squat. To me, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to have it there, and I'm just going to push press it up and then do an overhead squat. I've never been, I don't know if it's weak enough or strong enough. I don't know how you describe it, but I've never had like, oh, I can't push press it up, therefore I can't overhead squat it. So it's never been a limiting factor. What range of professions you can make money for a living? That's a very weird thing. How many times? Dude, I don't know what you're saying. We're having a nice talk about weightlifting. You got some dude asking me random questions. All right. Uh-oh. Oh, I didn't pull my phone. Where? I think I was having this thought as I was working out. I think I'm gonna do a spicy thing. It may not even happen. I may just be a lazy bum. But let me put my glasses on. I want to do front squats, but I don't want to do them tonight. So I might do them tomorrow morning. But at the same time, I kind of think I just need to man up and do them right now anyway. But jerk recovers from the rack. Yeah, they're just it is a horrendous exercise to set up. I've done it a couple times, and not a lot of gyms have a good setup for it. And a lot of like I did it at the gym that I go to before, and the setup for it, I can't get it up high enough to do a true jerk recovery. I have to like squat under it slightly, which obviously limits how much weight you can do. But yeah, it's absolutely horrendous to set up, and I don't know how useful it is. It's kind of like snatch push press. Like I'm sure it, it is working muscles, but I don't think it's one where it's like if you don't do it, then um, it's not like not the end of the world. Yuri, I don't know why you're asking me these questions. You're a weird guy. We're here to lift weights, not do nerd stuff like you're trying to do. I'm out here lifting in my shed. You think I'm making money doing this, bro? So we're gonna man up and front squat. Good lord, I don't want a front squat. Get back there. I had a nice spider that was living on these blocks in this where I had this rubber piece on the other one in the crook. So I had to exact some revenge on it, unfortunately. I actually try not to kill spiders out here because it helps with bugs, but I mean when you're on my platform or on my blocks, then it's I would say right to jail, but there's not much justice for those guys. The sin of being in my way. Trade blocks got my way. It's going fantastic, Yuri. Besides the fact that I had to do repetitions to get stronger. Slam Bar said that I can snort chalk and get stronger, so based on his life advice, I might give that a whirl and see if that improves my front squats. So we'll see. We'll see. Still tentative, still planning, still thinking. But I think I'm going to stick with the theme and do front squat doubles. So I probably won't get up to 175. That'd be a really good front squat to get up to, but I think I would need a belt and a lot of chalk. Well, we're gonna double wrap up, knee wrap, and then pull the sleeves over it. Let's see if I feel any. The only thing that will kind of actually limit me on my protein shakes. I should just bathe in it and put it in my food and sleep with a little bit of chalk under my pillow for the chalk monster, for the chalk man, dirt man something. They need to make one for the chalk man. A little chalk under my pillow for the chalk man. Which I would be the chalk man. I'm coming to your house and I'm taking your chalk. But I mean, maybe front squats feel good. Maybe I pop off. Probably not, but you gotta be delusional. You gotta be delusional. That's how you get stronger. Protein shake though, that is pretty funny. Don't use salt on your food, just sprinkle chalk on your food. It is the key to success. I feel like that's like the start of a good like lifting meme video. chalk and everything. I don't shower, I just rub chalk on and just bathe in chalk. And I don't brush my teeth, I just gargle chalk. Yuri, it would be back squat. That would be, if I had to choose only one exercise, because that would mean I wouldn't be able to do weightlifting, because weightlifting is a snatch and a clean and jerk. I would choose just back squats. That would be literally, they would work every part of your body, and they look the coolest. Deadlift would be a second, but I feel like you can't deadlift every day. And if I could only do one exercise, I'd want to do it every day. I guess you could deadlift every day, but probably wouldn't have very much fun with your back just being pumped up every day. Now we're gonna smash. We're gonna actually destroy this 20-kilo bar. So it was nice when I was writing this workout for that. I did put doubles, so definitely don't have to worry about doing triples. But see what we can do. So I put 70, 110, 140, 155, 165, and then I technically wrote down 175, but I don't think that's possible today. Because that would be close to a PR. But I do like to put, fun numbers on there. Oh, crackly. Honestly, doesn't feel too bad. Take the glasses on so I can look smart. Gives me intellectual credibility. Lack of vision makes me intellectually superior. All right. So double. I mean, you're not wrong with the deadlift, but I probably wouldn't want to do deadlifts every day. And squats for me, or back squats for me, build my deadlift. So if I only could do one, if you put a time frame like for 1 year, I would just do back squats and do that every day, and probably still be able to lift similar numbers after. But I'm definitely the best at deadlifts relative to my other lifts. Double. That doesn't feel fun. Oh. I think Yuri's right. I think I should just only deadlift. I think he's right. Just never squat again. I'm done with it. It's not dangerous, buddy. It's actually safer. Because there's a statistically insignificant difference between the shear force on your knees between deep squats and partial squats. But there's a slight benefit, or a slight, like I said, statistical insignificance that is biased or beneficial towards deep squats. But also logically, deeper squats are safer because you can't load them as heavy. And heavier squat is going to be inherently more dangerous, or just any exercise with additional weight. So because you're doing less weight and you're doing the full range of motion, it's just not. So for weightlifting too, like you have to do it. But also, I would say for every single person in the whole world that wants to lift weights, like just go all the way down. Unless you're a power lifter that needs to go to parallel, there's literally no reason not to go all the way down. And like for me, if I'm complaining about my knees or whatever, it's like I lift every day. That's the bigger problem. It's not, oh, I squatted too far down, my knees hurt. It's like I literally am doing a squatting movement every single day, so I just am not recovered. All right. Double. I live in the danger zone, Yuri. I live dangerously. I squat all the way down. My cheeks are in the grass. That's the kind of high risk behavior that your local elementary phys ed teacher endures every day. Just exercising. Don't party. I don't go out and drink. I squat deep. Some might say that's more dangerous. Take up a safer habit like smoking cigarettes. But I like to risk it all. Yes and yes. So you want to always be able to increase the weight, but you want to less about having a good workout. It's more important for me to maintain positions that are going to carry over better for weightlifting. So I would like to maintain the positions that I'm doing with heavier weights, but it's less of wanting to more just you just got to put more chalk on. That's the problem. If your knees hurt, it's literally just a lack. It's not knee pain. It's just you got to get the chalk like in your joints. You just got to get it rubbed in. That's the big key. You don't have enough chalk on. That's I actually have less like knee tendonitis and more like quad tendonitis. My actual like knees themselves don't really give me problems. It's the good old quads, which, you know, like we mentioned, it's just the lack of chalk I'm utilizing on those. More chalk, less problems. That needs to be a shirt. More chalk, less problems. When in doubt, rub chalk on it. Have a headache, rub chalk on it. Woke up with a sore neck, just put some magnesium carbonate on it. All right. It's where life gets serious, a little serious. That was so much fun. Oh, that was so much fun. Actually didn't feel bad. But we're going to make the executive decision to not go to 155. We're going to go to 160 and do a double and be done. Because that should be a good double for the day. Oh no, I'm not addicted to squats. I'm addicted to deadlifts because they're fun. Squats I am not addicted to at all. No, my muscles My muscles never really crave a workout. That's their problem. They're weak. That's why I rub chalk on them every night before I go to bed. Little chalk under the pillow for the chalk monster. Keeps the knee keeps the knee tendonitis away. Oh, you'll always be leaving. Whoop. Look at this. There we go. Oh. Do I feel the need? Trust me, I don't crave squats, but I know I crave back squats more than front squats. Yeah, I've deadlifted 305, so I would hope my back is strong at least. But I'm gonna do 2. Now, if I rub extra chalk on, I might be able to do 3. We'll see though. Put a little chalk on for the chalk monster. But we'll say between 1 and 3, because like the first one could just feel really bad, and I'll just stop. 2 could feel really bad, and I stop there. And at any point, I could just fail or set. This is the key, Yuri. As much chalk as possible. More chalk, the better. You know, nobody ever finished a lifting session and said, I used too much chalk. That was the problem. Could have lifted more, but I used too much chalk. Put your guesses in the chat. 1, 2, or 3. Or 0. You're toxic. Haters will put 0. Oh. Whew. Now, it was too far forward on the first one. Felt like it moved all right, but on the second one, I would have just it would have just fell off. Oh, looks like just in time for my Walmart to get here. But happy with that to do doubles, working up to that. 3 plus a hand clean. That's the kind of spirit I need. I just didn't use enough chalk, frankly. But like those are a tricky one because if I look back, I almost guarantee I haven't looked at it yet. But the speed on it probably looked fine. But as I was starting to come up, I pitched forward a little bit, which kind of gets back to what Yuri said. Like I could have maybe tried another one, but I probably would have failed it, and it wouldn't have been that fun to fail it. But it's more important for me to maintain the upright torso, which is going to limit how much actual weight I could do, because I don't really want to compromise that, because it's either going to injure my back or just not carry over. Yeah, I would agree with that. But I'm pretty happy with that front squat. To do more reps than I have been doing lately. I've just been doing a lot of singles and focusing on back squats and lunges. So 160 is pretty good for a beltless rep. What I want to do now, I probably won't bother. I probably won't record this for live just because I have to go get groceries in a second, but do some lunges and that will be the end. And that's really been, I think, the biggest driver of my squats feeling good lately. Back squats particularly is just doing more lunges, which I hate doing, and they're really difficult. So I'm gonna do all the things I don't like, but I might load them with a little bit of weight today. I've been doing them with just a bar, which I did body weight and then I progressed to the bar, and so now I'm gonna try to do it 40 kilos today. So we'll see how those feel. I did put some warm up sets, but I feel like I've warmed up enough, so I don't think I really need to warm up for lunges. So we're gonna see how that works. But appreciate you guys stopping by, Yuri Slan, and the couple other people that popped by, but you guys were still here at the end. So I appreciate that. Need to finish lunges though, because I am starving, so I need to go eat some chalk. That is for sure. But I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Feel free to check out my other videos if you want to see more of me riding the struggle bus as far as lifting goes. But have a good night, guys. If I can hit the exit button. Yuri, training biceps, not fun to do. I think it's useful if you're training triceps, but I don't think biceps are necessarily pointless. But if you train triceps, it's probably beneficial to do a little bit of bicep training. But I wouldn't want to train it like a bodybuilder. But that's it for now. Talk to you guys later.